Alright guys, I've got here a 2005 Kawasaki Brute Force 750 V-twin. It came into the shop. The owner wanted to just do a tune-up on it. Hasn't ran in about 4 years. Long story, it was his grandfather, so it was passed down in the family. Brought it home, put a temporary battery in it, cleaned the carb out, check the tank. She fired up and purred. I've got a rebuild kit coming for the carb, new air filter, oil filter. I've already changed out the spark plugs, put a new petcock down here underneath everything, changed out a fuel line. It was leaking, it had a rub in the line. Other than that, I mean, she's come to life. Turn the choke on. Still a little cold. It's been about 20 degrees. Got me a wood fire going in here. Got all the plastic sitting on the timber wolf. And I got the big bear over there. Gonna let the choke warm up a little bit. I got tons of crap sitting right there that I took off this just to get down to the carburetors. I take that little boot off. Get back here to the spark plug. Pain. But she had a fuel leak. There's 2 rubber seals that are leaking. Well, 2 rubber O-rings that are leaking back here where the fuel line goes in. This is the air box. These 2 right here. The fuel line that goes to both carburetors, and they go in, and there's an O-ring inside there. When it gets worn out, it starts to leak. Another thing about these motors, if your battery isn't good, it's not going to run right. And if you take it off, you do anything with this little black tray, say you tip it up, it's gonna die. There's a safety switch right here. And if you can see, it has an arrow pointed up. This thing's gotta stay up. If it goes past and 180 degree, you flip it upside down, she gonna cut off. It's a safety sensor, basically. If you're out there in the woods, you're mudding, you're doing whatever, and you roll this thing, it's going to automatically cut off, so it don't flood the engine. And that way it don't do any harm to the engine. Now this thing is a Hoss, a 750 V-twin. Now if you have, like here, I've got to get him a new clip for his air box. If you have anything go wrong with this thing and you have some air leaking, it's going to sputter. These things are meant to be airtight. And another thing, if your belt light is on, this thing's going to go in a limp mode. So say for instance you sit there and you drive all summer long and winter long, and then all of a sudden next year that belt light's on and you sit there and can't figure it out. You think it's a carburetor issue, this and that and the third. There's a safety sensor to it. And the funny thing, it usually fits right in here. Since I got all this stuff out, these come manufactured with this four-wheeler. It's a wire loop, basically resets the system. So usually it comes attached or it comes on that tray. So what you're going to want to do is take this little booger out right here and put it in this one. So you'll take this wire out, take this wire out the cover, pop it in here. Make sure your key's off when you do that. Then you come down here, beside the cover, you got this blue and white, red wire. It runs to this box right here. You unplug it. Then you turn your key on for about 10 seconds. And you do that 3 times. So you turn it on for 10 seconds, turn it off. Usually you wait till you hear that noise end. Give it a few seconds. Cut it back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So once you've done that 3 times, you'll wait for that noise to go away. And you'll plug this back up. And then you come back over here, you take this out, and you plug this back in. And that light will go away. And as soon as you fire it up, it should run like it's always ran. You'll have no problem. The sputter will be gone. So basically it goes in limp mode. It says, hey man, it's been like 100 hours. You might need to go ahead and check your spark plugs, check your oil. I want you to maintain this thing. That's why that comes on. Now, if it does come on and it don't run rough, but you're having slipping issues, it might be your belt. But 9 times out of 10, if it's ran good and then all of a sudden it starts running like crap, try that little simple thing and it'll go back to normal. But it'll be good to sit there and actually check your oil. Maintain this thing. You know, if you want these four-wheelers to last, they're gonna need some maintenance. This thing is definitely computerized. It's got a lot of electrical stuff. Things that you wouldn't normally see on this Timberwolf. Things you normally wouldn't see on the Big Bear. But you pay for what you got. You know, this thing it's a hoss. But if you're having any issues, just do that one little simple thing for me. I guarantee you, it'll work if that's the issue. Alright guys, this is Walter, ATV and Outdoors. I'm signing off. If you would, just like and subscribe. There'll be plenty more videos coming to you. I've got a lot more ATVs. I got a lot more projects. I got a 92 Virago sitting right here. It's actually got a snowmobile carb on it. I switched from a dual carb to a single conversion kit, and this thing runs strong. I got some brake works I gotta do on it here shortly. Put some new levers. Go ahead and redo the hoses and the brakes. Big Bear, I'm working on the rack on that. And this one right here actually needs a good carb cleaning. And the choke cable got stuck in it, so it was running on choke all the time. But if you would, stay tuned. I appreciate it, guys.